Good evening, class. I'm going to spend a few minutes. This one's, maybe a little longer than some of the video used for your quizzes, but I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about a few things that you might want to study and might want to refer to when you're taking quiz number 4. Just remember, and we've talked about perfect competition, monopoly, imperfect, oligopoly, talked about a lot of different aspects and of market economies, but in perfect competition, there's large numbers of buyers and sellers, homogeneous product, which means the products are identical, complete market information, easy entry and exit. And from my viewpoint, there's probably very few markets that function in a perfect competition, but economists like to put it out there. So at least we can understand and develop models and simplify the complex world around us. And in perfect, when we're talking about perfect competition, we want to look at profit maximization, say in the short run. There's two questions the firm has to answer: how much to produce and how to price products. Remember, profit, function of total revenue minus total cost. Total revenue is a function of price times quantity. Likewise, cost is a function of price times quantity. The market, go back to Adam Smith and his invisible hand, perfect competition, the market, supply and demand, equilibrium price determines the price in the market. And the profit maximizing level of quantity is that a level in which marginal return is greater than marginal cost, and that is also greater than the minimum average variable cost. Economic profits are maximized at the vertical distance between total revenue and total cost when you look at those two curves. And if you've got questions, go back to the textbook, and they do a really good job of explaining it for you. Firms produce until the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Remember, go back to the 3 pillars of economic thought: opportunity cost, self-interest, decisions at the margin. Marginal revenue equals marginal cost. If marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost, the firms are going to keep producing, and they're going to increase output, will have more of a positive effect on total revenue, much more so than it is on total cost. So remember, if marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost and you keep producing, an increase in output will have more of a positive effect on total revenue than it's going to have on a negative effect on marginal cost. In the short run, economic loss is when the total cost is greater than total revenue. And at that point, the firm needs to decide, if you're profit maximizing, you're going to need to decide to either A, continue to produce, and we've talked about this, or you decide to shut down. In the short run, then again, we've talked about this: the factors of production, land, labor, capital, technology, entrepreneurship, all of them are fixed, but one variable. So in the short run, one variable or one of those factors of production can become the variable, and all the rest of them are fixed. That's in the short run. In the long run, again, we've talked about they can all vary in the long run. In the short run, economic profit, again, is when total revenue is greater than total cost. And in that situation, total revenue is a straight line with a fixed slope. Total cost intersects the y-axis at total fixed cost. In the short run, if you're a perfectly competitive firm, you're going to, drive output, theoretically produce economic profits if the price is greater than average total cost. That implies profitability. And remember, average total cost is average variable cost plus average fixed cost. That's your average total cost. If the price is equal to the average total cost, the economic profit is 0. I'm sorry, if price is equal to average total cost, profit is zero. If price is less than average total cost, then you're operating at a loss, or you're going to have I'm not sure you can have a negative profit, but you're going to be operating at a loss. So remember, price equals average total cost. You're not going to be making profit. You're just going to be clearing. If price is less than average total cost, you're going to have a negative impact on your profit, or you're going to be producing at a loss. But again, in the short run, as long as the price is greater than the average variable cost, then at that point, it becomes a situation where the firm needs to decide, do they want to continue to produce or they want to shut down? Spent a lot of time again, and we've had charts and we've gone through them, and the textbook does a really good job outlining all this out for you: oligopoly, monopoly, perfect competition, imperfect competition. I mean, they've laid everything out for you, and they do a really good job. And if you remember, when they talk about a monopoly, one seller, unique product, there's barriers to entry. They definitely have market power. They have a downward sloping market demand, which is also, the market demand is also the firm's demand curve. The only way they can sell more is if they lower the price. Remember, downward sloping, the only way they can sell more is to lower the price. What are we talking about? Quantity demanded. Price is greater than marginal return, which is greater than marginal cost. They are definitely price setters. The monopolistic price and the monopolistic quantity, the amounts, the price and the amounts that they produce are definitely not efficient. And that's why, especially the federal government's always looking at companies to make sure that they're not working in an inefficient monopolistic situation. And they operate in the elastic portion of the PED. Remember what we talked about the PED? Price elasticity of demand. So they operate in that elastic portion. And remember, if you look at the absolute value in the elastic portion, greater than 1. Unitary elasticity, it's equal to 1. And if it's in the inelastic portion of that demand curve, it's going to be an inelastic sort. It's going to be an inelastic situation. In the elastic situation, or in the elastic portion of that curve, a small change in price, you get a large change in quantity demanded. That's why the monopoly likes to operate in that elastic portion. They can make minute changes in price, but it can significantly impact the quantity demanded. If you're down here in the inelastic piece, price changes have little effect on the quantity demanded. So they definitely don't want to operate in that inelastic section, because they're trying to get rid of excess product. And I think actually that's all I've got for quiz number 4. So I would get out there, I would take a look at this video. Maybe you want to listen to it a couple of times before you take the quiz number 4. And if you've got questions, you can either reach out to me or go back to the book. The book, as I said, does a very good job at explaining a lot of these concepts. Let me know if you need anything else from me. Thank you.